She's gonna come back onto the camera with like this confused ass look like, hello, and welcome to the initiative order, and welcome to the inaugural session of Far Realms, a homebrew cult divinity lost TTRPG where I'm playing with some really great people, you guys. But before we get into player introductions and before we get to know these beautiful faces that I get to terrify forever, we're going to go over our wonderful sponsors and give them a quick shout out. First things first, we have Session Zero Clothing. They have awesome D&D inspired streetwear, which you should definitely check out. And if you do feel so inspired to purchase from them, you can use the code ORDER for 15% off because discounts. I'm just saying. We also have Norse Foundry. They are artisan dice makers, and if you have not checked out their friggin' metal dice, you're missing out. As a dice goblin, I can say that it's just stunning. Go check it out. You can use the code TIO15 for 15% off, and that's a darn good discount. Just throwing that out there too. Next up, because I'm not nervous, if you can't tell, it's fine. We have Roaming Player Gear, which is amazing tabletop gaming supplies with our very own GotDM. Evermore, check it out. You can use the code Carnaby20 for 20% off of their Dice Tower Dice Tray combo set. Definitely give them a look over. And of course, as every session, we have Mithril Armory. They actually sponsor our giveaway that we'll be having at the break, so please be sure to stick around for that. They create really friggin' awesome and insane looking dice that are actually like metal plate 10 D20s that you fold into place, and I'm not good at making them, but if you're good at that kind of thing, you should give them a try because again, super freaking awesome. So stick around for the break. At the break and between now and then, you can enter the code knock knock, all one word, to enter that giveaway. Also, new update in our shop for the initiative order is official Far Realms merch. So you're definitely going to want to go and check out our beautiful, really awesome, I'm not biased, but I kind of am, shirt. Because you definitely want to get a hold of that. And before we introduce our players, I do want to say we also have a Ko-fi set up. So if you like what we're doing or you just really love Ronan's face, which is kind of doubtful, you can support us through there and just throw us a tip because we're a bunch of spooky goth kids just trying to have fun and scare each other. All right, jumping into player introductions. I don't see it fitting to start with any other person other than the least casual human I've ever met in my life, but I love him. Jay Casual.
Oh, that was me. You said the least casual, so I was like, that's obviously okay. Oh hey, it's me, Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just Too Casual and on Twitch at Casual Creativity. I'm a variety streamer. I am a writer, storyteller, professional wordsmith. I take words and I make things. That's how I do stuff. And I'm writing a book, and that's a thing that I'm doing that's doing amazing things. And do I introduce the character too, or we're just doing? I don't know how much introduction you want to do.
You can go ahead and give us your character's name and a brief description.
I am Tyson James Everett. I'm a lovable college student, or was at least. I've been in school long enough to say how I'm doing. Unassuming in every possible way. Amazing, glorious Afrotastic hair because I'm Afrocentric, and I will always carry around my camera because every moment is worth 1,000 words, especially if you can capture it on film, particularly the things that aren't noticeable to the naked eye.
And of course, next up, because that's a great transition into Ronan.
Yeah, like I said before, I am the Chad version of casual. So that's it. That's my introduction.
There you go.
No,
Well done.
I'm Ronan Fox. Find me at Ronan Fox on social media. I'm a TTRPG content creator on Twitch. I stream every Sunday and Monday where we build worlds and adventures and all that cool stuff. And that's it. That's all me. And tonight I am playing Jack Graves. He is a very sort of typical noir style detective who is very skeptical of the supernatural, but is having this veil like slowly lifted in front of his face. So as he goes crazy.
Um, and of course, making their streaming debut, my lovely friend Johanna.
Hi, I'm Johanna Maka. You can find me on Instagram at johannaxmachina. I do a lot of cosplay. I make my own costumes, and I'm really excited for this to be my first stream. So I'm very excited for that. My character is called Elenora The Seer, and she is a fortune teller and might have a little more of the supernatural going on than she may think she does.
I'm so excited. The characters that these guys have made are amazing, and I'm very excited. And of course, last but definitely not least, as I don't have an ego either, Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook across the socials, specifically the Instagram. Someday I'll grow up. I am a TTRPG streamer, GM, general creative human, and a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. And you can follow me and my dice ventures at UO_dice on the Instagram. Tonight, however, I am your storyteller and your keeper. As I lead these lost souls deeper beyond the veil and expose what the shadows have been hiding from them. But before we get into that, I also want to express this is a horror TTRPG. We as players and me as the GM have all discussed our lines and veils. This show from time to time will have extreme horror content, like any horror movie. So occasional gore, intense themes. We do have a disclaimer during our intro as well, but I did want to make that clear. We do have consent as players and as the GM to explore and delve into these darker subjects together. And if at any point during the game, for some reason, something does trigger you, please feel free to back away, step away, do whatever you need to do. But all right, guys, your perception has failed you. Your minds have hidden in a false reality for far too long. Let us begin to peel back the veil and see if your minds can handle what the shadows hold. Mm-hmm. All right, and we're back. It's fine. Everything's fine. So, our story begins on the misty mountainside, where a secluded brick manor resides. Bourland Manor has been owned by the Borland family for generations. They have lived, died, and resided there hundreds of years, it's rumored. For one reason or another, or I should say in one manner or another, you were all notified of a recent occurrence. A Dr. Hanson Borland has passed away. The last in a long line of wealthy, eccentric collectors. Borland is said to have died of natural causes, although it is rumored that it was somehow violent. At the age of 46, he was found in his home. Authorities seem quick to write it off as nothing more than an old man dying. Yeah, suspicious. Nothing's wrong there. But by letter or by word of mouth, you've all caught wind of this or have been invited to make your way up the narrow, rocky pass up to Bourland Manor. It is well known that Hanson Borland was exceptionally paranoid. And while he had exuberant amounts of wealth and could have repaired the roads up to the manor, he let them degrade. So much so that the only way up the peak is in a carriage. It is said that he did this obviously not only to protect himself, but his vast collection of occult rarities. So we pick up there. Each of you ascending the mountaintop. Winds oddly picking up. And of course, as you've made your way there, you are made aware by the groundskeeper, Gingham, who is this very crusty older gentleman, very broad shoulders, shaggy gray hair, typical like wool coat, brown pants. He couldn't look more plain. He actually has a worse 5 o'clock shadow than Jack does. And he makes you all aware that the only time you can travel up or down the mountain is in the morning hours, because after that, the heat of the day causes wind pressure to exceed the natural threshold in the region, and rock falls and everything else make the road far too treacherous to try to travel. So we begin in a very nice carriage. Granted, it's a bit narrow. It seems specifically made to fit the road up to the manor. It's maybe 4 foot wide. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but there are currently 2 individuals sitting in this carriage. It is lit with gas lanterns, and not shoddy gas lanterns by any mean. There's beautiful silver filigree on these silver lanterns hanging on the inside, which would seem a fire hazard, but seems to be fine so far. The light flickers occasionally as there's a large bump, and Jack, it catches you off guard as your back is toward the side that would be overlooking the edge of the mountain. There are kind of rippled glass windows at the side, so you can kind of see out, but it's very blurred. Across from you is sitting an odd-looking woman dressed in all black and kind of seeming a little distant. It is a covered carriage, and of course you can see through a small slit at the front the very grizzled Gingham grunting and grumbling and making pretty harsh remarks toward the ox that is pulling this carriage up the mountain. But we'll start with you two.
How long have we been traveling?
By this point, it's been 45 minutes up. So it's been a good 45 minutes of just awkward silence. And occasionally, Elenora, you absolutely would have noticed Jack jumping occasionally. It seems like you see him being clearly lost in thought and then jolted out of it.
I will just have been, reading a nice little book this whole time. I slam it closed and look over at Jack, and I'm just like, first time up the mountain, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
Ah.
I've heard many stories, but this is the first time up.
It's a bit of a rocky road, especially first time going up. I can't say I have seen you here before, however.
Nope. Just a man. Nobody important.
Very, very suspicious, I see. But I won't ask. I will say, how did you know our dear Hanson?
Who didn't, really? I mean, he's a bit of an eclectic, famous idiot. But I don't know. I didn't know him too well, but his death is much more interesting to me than his life. So.
I see. I was quite acquainted with Hanson. He, honestly, probably my best customer. So I can't say I've ever heard him speak of a Jack, which is why I was a little confused in how you ended up on this carriage ride with me.
Customer, what'd you do for him?
I'm going to pull out a deck of cards at that point. Well, sometimes I would tell him what his future might look like in the day-to-day basis. Sometimes I see, unseeable forces that could be hindering him in his daily quest, the occult life, he sometimes dabbled in.
Too bad he didn't have you last week.
I know. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I don't believe in much of that. Fate is what we make it, I think.
That's fair. I can't say that I believe in much of it either, but don't tell my customers that.
It's fair. I appreciate that.
A strong wind picked up about that moment, and the carriage rocks heavily to the point where you are thrown against the back of it, Jack. Elenora, you fall to where your arms are to the other side of Jack. As you look out the window briefly, you do see the edge of the mountain as it rocks back. It would seem that Gingham is not shaken by this at all and just continues to try. You just hear him mutter something about damn old locks, mother, just like completely, like you can't understand. It's every other word that comes out of this guy's mouth that you kind of actually comprehend. But he seems to have a very cross relationship with this ox.
I see. I'm just gonna, be reaching my hands out, just be like, well, nice to meet you, Jack. I hope the rest of our trip is less rocky.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
And then I'll kind of help her back into her seat area.
You suddenly hear a bell chime in the distance, and then again, and it dawns on you that it sounds like a bike bell, and it gets closer. And Tyson, you see as you are biking up the side of this, you see a path just wide enough for you to squeeze between the mountain wall and this carriage.
All right, almost there. Okay. And I'm going to try to make my way through that space.
Okay.
Let's
yeah, I was about to say, let's make this the first roll of the game. Why not? Please do me a avoid harm. So that is a reflexes, please.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a 14.
Okay, that is a success with complication. Just so for all of you new to the system, the first couple rolls, I'll make that clear. 2d10. 15 and up is a success, 10 to 14 is a success with complication, and obviously 9 and below is a failure, and I get to do fun things. So Tyson, as you are going, you manage to squeeze through, but it narrows just a second before you can fully pass, and your elbow catches the side of the mountain. You don't take any specific harm, but it definitely catches you and scrapes your arm, and it's pretty sore. It might affect you a bit later. You can tell that it's really gonna freaking hurt in about 30 minutes when you're no longer, the adrenaline is gone. You can tell it's gonna be pretty stiff.
So I go like a little more aggressive pedaling as I'm like, oh, it's gonna sting. And I'm like kind of halfway wave that. Can I see? Like the carriage means they're like contained. So.
It's lit, so you see blurry faces. You see Jack, describe. Go ahead and describe what you look like, and then I will tell you what you see of Jack, because he would be facing. So you would see black hair of a female figure, and then you would see.
You would see early 40s gentleman, 5 o'clock shadow, but even more rough than that, like 4 or 5 day old, not quite a beard yet. Thinning hair, he's got a hat on, like a fedora style hat, and then a white button-up shirt, coffee stain, that sort of thing, just sort of raggedy, not put together very well.
So you kind of just see a really scruffy looking guy, might be homeless, sitting in the carriage that you're waving at. You see a random person driving by really fast. You just see a hand, and it's gone.
Eccentric breeds eccentric.
Do I recognize who it is outside of?
Do you turn? I mean, it depends on how quickly you turn around.
I'm assuming I like glance at them, but that's about it.
I will say, actually, that bell toll, you do recognize the bell toll at the very least, only because there is a specific patron on occasion. When they show up, they make their presence very known and ring that bell multiple times before they even ring the doorbell of your actual establishment.
I see. I'm just gonna sit back in my seat and be like, Jack, it seems you're in for a treat tonight. If you're looking for eccentric, I think you will have a good time.
You know that bell?
I do. He was my second best customer, but since my first best customer is rather deceased now, I guess he would be my first best customer now.
Great.
I can tell you're really, really enjoying this conversation, Jack.
It's I prefer things a little more concrete.
I see. Well, you enjoy yourself. I'll leave you alone for now. And we'll, see each other once we get to the mansion, I guess.
If you see anything in my future, though, let me know.
Will do.
Do you try to see into his future?
Oh, you know.
Let's go ahead, just for funsies. Just go ahead and do a soul roll for me.
Alrighty. That's not
Yes,
great.
you have special abilities, but let's do the soul.
Yeah. Alrighty. That's gonna be a 5.
Oh my god.
That's not great.
No, let me double check how bad that is for you. This is new for me, guys. I didn't think it would be that bad that fast. Okay. So, as you look at Jack, you focus in briefly. And your eyes kind of lock with his.
Uh-huh.
And as you stare, his eyes change color and appear more youthful.
Uh-huh.
And it expands outward into a much more childlike version of him.
Mm-hmm.
Not identical, but close. And as you look at it, blood begins to pour from the eyes, and it lets out a silent scream. You immediately feel sick to your stomach and kind of shoot back.
Uh-huh.
And you are very aware of just a dark aura currently hanging over Jack.
Okay. Well, once I compose myself, I'm just gonna smile politely.
We're gonna, as he's packing his cigarettes, he'll look up, say, "You got a little trickle of blood. Might want to get that before we get up there."
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sorry about that. And just
Must be the
happens, you know, the spirits.
Or that, sure.
I can tell we're gonna have fun, Jack.
So as you two continue your way in the carriage, Tyson, your arm is kind of, again, growing stiff, but you can see, and you're familiar enough with this road. You know, as you're getting to the peak, you're just about there as you crest the very steep, rocky hill. It is a beautiful view downward. Mist covers the tops of a massive evergreen forest, sprawling out as far as the eye can see, rolling hills, more mountains. It's truly secluded and truly beautiful. You round the top of the hill and come down and see Bourland Manor before you. It's stunning red brick, ivy growing up the sides, very distinct Gothic architecture. You see already 2 other carriages are parked further down the circle drive. As you also know that Hanson kept no kind of motorized vehicle at all. These carriages are left kind of just tied up, unattended. The 2 ox have like buckets of feed hanging out in front of them. You notice immediately the massive mahogany door, which Hanson had specially delivered to his home to replace an older one that had been destroyed, with the very typical for his home spiral filigree rolling through, strange occult imagery hand carved into it, usually kept sealed tight, is wide open. This is a new sight for you. Never once ever in the times that you have ever visited before have these doors been left hanging open.
These are the main doors?
Yes, the very front doors. So it does have a wraparound white stone porch that goes from the front or around the side, leading to, of course, the swimming pool area. This is a 3-story Victorian home with the widow's walk at the top, beautiful stables all set aside, kind of in this little valley in this mountaintop. Also back behind it, you would also know that is the Borland family cemetery, and the mausoleum is back there as well. It's, I mean, especially in the early morning, the sun bouncing off of the obsidian black stone and the red brick. It's a very welcoming sight to you.
So Tyson will get off the bike after taking the pictures kind of mounted. Will then take the camera in the bag, remove the shirt he was wearing specifically while biking, pull out some wet wipes from the camera bag and kind of wipe the sweat off and do a quick, cleanse, get a little cologne pile and dab on the pits and the neck, and then put on the shirt. A quick change. And we'll proceed to kind of take a few steps towards the manor, and we'll just kind of be there taking a few more pictures from different angles, just kind of observing, if you will.
Please roll 2d10 for me.
What?
Let's make this an observe a situation. So go ahead and roll perception.
Ooh.
I like that y'all's rolls are just immediately.
Ooh. That's a 9.
It's a 9. So you look around as you're walking up and you're glancing into the windows, and something moves in the widow's walk quickly, but as you stare, you're pretty sure it was probably just a bird flying through, but it does definitely catch your attention, which is odd a little bit at first, just because it was an abandoned part of the home. And as you're distracted and looking upward, you bump into Frederick the Butler in the home. 6'7", solid black suit, very well kept, shaved bald head.
I'm gonna quickly just be like, can I get a smile? Like half one's fine too. Try to get a picture.
You're here.
I mean, don't be too excited to see me. Come on.
Back so soon. And he like takes both hands and breaks his normal straight face posture and is just kind of like, I'm getting a migraine already. I take it you received an invitation from Clever. Yes.
I definitely got a paper. It's in my bag. Pulls out a random bunch of notes, receipt. No, that's an overdue bill. It's in this bag somewhere. Yeah, there was an invitation. Wait, do you need it or does it matter?
Just go to your. You know which room is yours. Just.
Come on, it's okay, Fro. Just smile. It'll make you feel better.
He straightens himself back up and says nothing but puts his hand out, motions you in like into the home.
And then Tyson will walk by and like high five the hand and keep going in.
About that time, the carriage rolls over that hill, and you can again see blurry a little bit of the vista as you're coming out. It begins to dip down, and you can feel the carriage and begin to see the home as it slows and parks. And you just get a very grumbling, yeah, we're here, get out. And Gingham's frankly just steps off of the carriage and walks away. You can hear a bit of rustling like he tends to the ox and then leaves you.
I'm gonna step out of the carriage and just be a pleasure as always, Gingham. Like just
as
yell.
He's walking away, you get like the hand like
Yeah, as I'm stepping out, I'm gonna look back over to Jack and just be like, Jack, do you perchance have children? Just a question.
Yeah, I do.
In that moment, you hear a child screaming in the back of your head.
Me?
No, she does.
Okay.
That's great, Jack. I hope they are all safe. I'm sure they're in good hands. And I just kind of walk towards the house.
As you're walking towards the house, Jack, you are now left alone in this carriage. The eccentric, odd woman has left your side.
I'll just shrug it off and step out and sort of stretch and light up a cigarette and
Okay.
kind of meander. I kind of want to take my time getting there and just kind of
getting the lay of the outside of the home.
Mark exits, mark, you know what I mean, all that sort of stuff. So
okay, so we'll start there. So, Jack, you begin to make your way around the home. Do you step up onto the wraparound porch, or are you staying further away?
I will eventually, but I do kind of want to. Is there like a what's the word I'm looking for? Just an area in the front, like with temporaries and stuff like that. I'll just
there's like a fountain.
Yeah,
there is a fountain at the center of this circle drive, white stone, a crying angel posted at the center with the fountain, of course, coming out from its hands right here in front of its face. Again, this same occult scroll work is just embedded in all of the sides of this fountain. And you can see that there's definitely, you can hear activity coming from in the home. You can hear like dishes being thrown around quickly. It sounds like they're preparing for a large meal. As you know, the wake, funeral, and will reading are to occur within the next 48 hours. This evening and night are the wake, meant to be a memorial. In the following morning, he is to be buried in the family cemetery, and then the will reading is the following afternoon. So you can infer that there's a decent bit of activity. There are also a lot of windows in this home, so the chances that somebody has seen you out there, pretty significant.
And that's okay. I don't care to be seen. I'm not trying to be hiding. I just kind of want to just case the outside, the front, and before I walk into it or walk up to it.
Go ahead and let's let's observe. So make a perception roll for me, please.
Okay. 15.
A 15. You get to ask me 2 questions.
Sure, yeah.
2 questions about what you're trying to observe.
Right. Does any area from the front, obviously, of the manor look off limits? Of the manor and the grounds?
Does it look, so specifically just from looking, does anything look like it's nobody allowed?
Yeah.
Right now, and you can see like footsteps going around the home, like footpaths. You can tell that probably prior to his death, this was a very active home. And it would seem that there are a couple of places you can see the wrought iron fence to the back, like even distantly. You can see there is a large, easily a 6-inch padlock. This is a massive custom padlock, and it is hanging open. Where once was probably off limits, it's apparently been traversed back and forth quite a bit recently. You do see, because of that, you do see fresh grass, like tussled and broken. So this is new foot traffic. You do look, as you're looking at the front, it would appear that the 3rd floor, there are windows where it's clearly dusted over. There are curtains, but it looks like they look brown, where they were probably once supposed to be kind of white, but they look like these windows look undisturbed, where you can tell 1st and 2nd floor, and then part of the 3rd floor, very clean, very well kept. And it looks like part of the 3rd floor, and that's this widow's walk, very dusted over.
Okay. And is there anybody outside sort of avoiding going in, sort of awkwardly hanging around?
You can see, like, going off, which would be to the north of the home, like up another footpath that is very well established and bricked. You can see Gingham making his way up, and you do see a small cabin. It seems it's a decent walk up, but because of the open nature of this hillside, you can see that his home, as the groundskeeper, is up and away, but he is the only one that is like, you can tell he's briskly walking away from the home.
Gotcha.
He could not get away from that cart fast enough.
Okay. All right, well, I will snub out the cigarette and head towards the door.
Okay. Tyson, you make your way in. You can immediately see, you immediately catch Viv, the young cook, red curly hair, freckle face, bright green eyes, wearing kind of like the waist-high slacks and a bright white button-up, stains all over the front as usual. Sleeves rolled up. There is an apron, but it's kind of like twisted off to the side, and there's like a couple whisks hanging out. She's been making something, but she is frantically running from one room to the next, back towards the kitchen, through the doorway, through the pantry. But you do get a quick, like, as she's just speeding.
As soon as I try to get like a quick shot using sports mode real quick to get a shot of her.
Okay, as you pull your camera up and out, it's changed. It's bulkier. It's wooden. It's dated. It's talking old school film cartridge camera. And it is heavy. It's as you take it out, suddenly it just appears to change. Like, it's almost in an instant. This camera is not the camera that you're used to having.
I don't think I can get a picture in enough time then.
Yeah, well, there's a big bulb flash, because instinctively you just pull it out, and there's this big, and you see her kind of like, oh my god, really? And she just walks like through, and she's just like, freaking, of course he would do that. Like,
it was Edmund.
As you say that, you hear a tapping, and then you look up the circular wooden stairwell leading up, and Edmund is staring over the stairwell, 5'5", spindly, pale, gaunt, wearing a sports coat, tattered slacks, like just purposely, you can tell purposely not kept. And his white button-up shirt is currently untucked. Kind of greasy black hair pulled back into a ponytail, just looking over at you like,
Ah, Edmund. You heard that, didn't you?
holds over a sign, like picks up his chalkboard from his waist and holds it over. I'm mute, not deaf.
Well, I'm just letting you know it was your fault.
And you just get a middle finger slowly held up over the railing as he turns and walks away.
Love you too, Edmund. Great kid. Great kid. All right. Well, that was... And is my camera still, like, changed?
Nope.
So it's back to normal again, all of this.
Yep. As you look down, it's as if nothing ever changed. In fact, the picture of Viv is on, as you open the virtual screen, the picture of Viv is on there.
See, this is why they tell you not to go to the tropical forest and do whatever flower they give you. Okay, well, I'm gonna make my way towards my room. Actually, I'm gonna peruse a bit. The
Okay.
main floor is gonna...
Okay. Let me pull up my book. So as you make your way, there is obviously, so there's the foyer, the rounded wooden stairwell that leads all the way up on two sides. Through this way, obviously, you know, is dining room, kitchen area. This house is huge. There are multiple living rooms. What room specifically do you think Tyson would be looking for in this moment?
Tyson would be following if there's any noise outside of, obviously, Viv scrambling left and right. Trying to see if who else might currently be here.
Okay. You do hear a coughing past the foyer into what is one of the many living rooms.
Ah, that room. Actually, I heard coughing. Does it sound like a feminine cough?
No, this is a young masculine cough.
Okay, yeah, no, then I'll go in that room.
Okay, so you make your way through this marble flooring, past the beautiful intricate wooden stairs, through kind of a small entryway that is like up on a platform. Again, dark mahogany wooden floors everywhere. There are some slight creaks above you as you're walking through. You see what would be one of the many lounge areas, complete white carpet, white furniture, windows paneled all the way around, is a beautiful view out onto the white stone swimming pool. And of course, to your right is what was known as the Red Room. Again, burgundy red carpets, red furniture. You can see rows and rows of books, gold lamps. At the center, you can tell this room has been clearly set up for the wake. At its center, there is currently an empty pedestal, coffin-sized, at the moment. And there is a young gentleman in brown slacks. You're noticing the formal attire of everybody preparing to attend a wake is becoming very consistent, and you're very aware of it at this point. It's dawning on you that this is not just another visit to Bourland Manor. You are indeed there for a funeral, to say goodbye. But you see this young gentleman in brown slacks. The sports coat is removed, shirt still nicely tucked in. And as this kind of hefty figure turns to look at you with their brown hair combed up over to the side, deep olive brown skin, green eyes and freckles, turns and looks at you. This is the assistant. This is Dr. Hansen's young protege, kind of a klutz and less successful. This is Lillard. And he immediately recognizes you as he's like coughing and holding a rag. And you can see little spots of blood on there. As he looks, for his olive skin, there are very dark circles, and for him, he looks very pale.
And Tyson's just like, click.
Is that really necessary right now? Really?
And why not? Oh, you okay?
No, I've been sick for probably like past week. Oh,
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna walk out here because I'm gonna need you to be
it's
as far
not.
away from me.
It's
Nope.
not. It's not contagious. As you walk away,
Yep. Does the whole back walking, but before like completely leaves, like click, and then fully leaves.
and just watch as you walk away. Elenora,
Mhm.
you do hear Tyson's familiar click of photography echoing through as you are, of course, you're aware that they're there. You make your way in. You can hear off in the cook's quarters. You know, you have a pretty good idea, even just walking in, the best room for the wake and everything else. You're very familiar with gatherings in this home usually being in the red room. So, what is Elenora doing?
I would say I'm going to go to my room first,
Okay.
just to freshen up and kind of relax from the Jack encounter.
Okay. So you make your way up the spiral staircase initially. Okay, so you make your way up, and of course you can still see down into the foyer. There is a long hallway leading down one direction, with the familiar ticking of a grandfather clock at the far end. You know that in that direction is the master bedroom. Off to the left is another smaller hallway and kind of another foyer area that has 1, 2, 3 bedrooms similar on the opposite side, except there is like an outlook where it's just another seating area that just overlooks the grounds. And it would appear that you kind of have your choice. You know, based on having been here before, that Tyson's room would be to the west side of the home, and the more of the spare rooms are off to the east side. But there are 2 spare rooms on one and 3 on the other.
I would say I'm a little worried about running into the family, so I would go in room next to Tyson.
Okay. So you walk past Tyson's room, which is there are already suits and everything kept in that closet for them. It doesn't look like it gets disturbed much, but it's oddly set up for somebody who is never here. The next room over is your standard Victorian-esque guest bedroom. Wood pillar bed, red velvet comforter. It's got an armchair, a bookshelf filled with books, a small white lamp, gaslit, of course. And again, a window overlooking part of the grounds. This bedroom specifically overlooks the fountain area. Like, you have a very direct line to the crying fountain.
Okay. As soon as I get into my room, I'm going to set my bags down. I'm going to pull like a gold chain with like a little stone on the end of it and stick it into the pocket of my skirt. And then I'm going to press my hand up against the wall and just see if I feel any presence.
Okay. Are you using one of your abilities, or let's see here. What do you have? We can, let's go ahead and let's use your magical intuition.
Okay, that sounds like
so roll plus your soul.
Okay, we're not doing so bad. It's a 17.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So you get to choose out of your advantages. You can choose 2.
Okay.
From your magical intuition.
I would say I'm going to want to learn something has a magical nature. I'm looking for a specific thing, so I would see if there's a pull towards any specific place in the house.
Okay, so you touch the wall and your hand grows ice cold.
Okay.
But it feels, you kind of almost go to recoil, but your hand doesn't pull back.
Okay.
It stays stuck to the wall. It is very, very dark, and you have this flash of void, cold, isolation, and sadness washes over you, and it feels like you're being pulled toward the end of the house that is the master bedroom. Just that end of the house in general. So the south side of the home, it's this cold energy that seems to be pulling you and exhausting you in that direction.
Okay.
And your second option?
My second option is, I want to learn more about Jack. I'm trying to like decipher like whatever it was that I saw whenever I looked into his future.
So the true nature of what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're holding on to this, and you get this cold pull, but at the back of your mind, that screaming child grows louder and louder, and you become hungry. You become vengeful. You become ravenous. And you catch your other hand clawing at the wall just as you snap to.
I love it. I'm gonna stumble back and obviously be very like disturbed by whatever this was that I saw, and suddenly I'm going to very much want to be in the presence of other people. I don't feel safe alone, so I'm going to exit my room and walk towards the nearest noise.
As you go to exit the room, the door slams.
Good sign.
And your knee buckles, and you fall to the floor.
Good start.
And then you hear at the door, is this room taken?
I'm gonna be like on the floor and trying to like, come to and everything. I'm just, yeah,
The door
can come in.
opens. The door quickly opens, and it is the maid, Mildred, who you are very familiar with. This is Mimi. She's in her 50s, very full, older, sweet woman, very superstitious, tight bun, gray, like peppered, striped black gray hair. Oh, it's you, Elenora.
Hi, Mimi. I'm very happy to see you, but do you mind helping me up?
Of course. And she kind of lifts you right up.
Thank you.
Did you eat? And she like puts her hand to your forehead. Have you eaten? They're making food downstairs.
Yes, I've eaten. I've just
come on. You look famished. You're too thin anyways. And she kind of takes your arm and does like the grandma thing and starts taking you back down. As you hit the stairwell to go back downstairs, you hear your door slam again.
Oh boy, I am very frightened, but I'm very desperately trying to keep it together.
Now that you say that, please roll keep it together.
Okay.
And that is going to that is your willpower.
Okay. It's a 14.
14?
Okay.
You let me double check here because this is a fun one. I'm getting to learn all of the things. So you managed to kind of stay yourself enough that Mimi's not suspect. But you really that feeling of cold isolation, you want to avoid that at all costs. You don't want to be alone right now. To the point of like desperation, you don't want to be alone.
Okay.
Jack, you walk inside finally, and you see Elenora being led by this very full, shorter woman briskly down the stairs talking about, we're going to go get food, and then that Viv made muffins, and we have just all of these things for you. Like just going on and on and on. And you can tell Elenora, like her eyes are blank, and it's just like in one ear and out the other.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. We're just heading in for dinner. Why are you just now coming in? You've been out there a while.
I was smoking.
Ah, I see. Not robbing the graves.
I get it.
You hear a loud snap and there's a bright flash as Tyson, your camera, changes back to its bulkier, heavier form.
Damn it.
Jack, you get a big bright flash of light in your eyes as someone moderately familiar to you makes their way out.
Tyson. Yeah.
I didn't do it. I wasn't there. I wasn't near it at all.
I'm not questioning you now.
I'm not answering you either.
Sure.
I'm gonna look between the two of them and be like, I can tell we're all going to be the best of friends. We're off to a great start.
Sure.
Positively. As like Tyson moves the bag and kind of like tucks it behind him, his satchel.
Are you still holding the massive camera?
I'm assuming if it hasn't changed back, I'm still holding it while moving.
Yeah, you just have this big. Tyson is holding his signature very large camera.
You see this, right?
Your
Yeah.
camera?
This is an old camera, yeah?
I don't know. Is
It
it?
looks pretty new to me.
But like, it doesn't look like the top of the line camera. It looks right.
And Mimi chimes in, Tyson, you know that Dr. Hansen never would have bought you something that was behind in the times. So let's go get food right now. You look famished. Have you eaten? And she grabs your hand and she has Eleanor's in the other and starts going towards the dining room. You, mister, and just points at and just assumes that you're all going. And is, of course, pulling the other two down the hallway to the dining room.
Being pulled.
As she pulls them off, I'll follow, but like I will shut up. I knew as soon as I said it. I will faintly ask, is smoking allowed in here? And then if I don't, when I assume I don't hear an answer.
From behind you, a very proper, chilled voice. Well, if it isn't, I'm in trouble. And you turn around, and the woman that you do know, based upon your research as Scarlet Coldhammer Borland, is standing behind you, eye to eye with you. Very tall, lean woman, solid burgundy long dress, black corset, sitting there with like the cigarette holders and just like sitting there, hair wound tightly back into a very elegant bun.
I'll slowly pull out a cigarette. Do you have a light?
Other hand, gold kind of like Zippo-esque lighter just lights it in front of you.
Sorry for your loss.
I'll manage.
Can I get a read on her? How she's sort of feeling? Is this an act or is this?
Read a person. That's an intuition roll.
Yeah, I think I'm good at that. Hold on.
You are. I believe that was one of the things that
Yeah.
you were, where it's like, oh, you're an investigator. You might want to be good at that.
Not great though on a roll.
Oh, okay.
So it's an 11 total.
That's good. That's really good. As you're staring at her, she looks down at you as your hand is kind of fidgeting on your notebook. Is there a reason you're here? Some kind of writer, researcher, coming to investigate our family drama for your tabloids? Really?
Not quite. I will admit there is a certain curiosity, but it is of a personal nature.
I'm sorry. Do you have an invitation to be here?
I do, as a matter of fact, and I'll pull it up.
Who sent this? Which you don't know.
That's correct. I don't know. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
It's probably that bastard clever. And she just walks past you briskly, like tosses the paper over her shoulder, does not even, and just as she makes to the doorway, turns back on her way to the dining room. I'll be sure to keep notes on you. And she click-clacks her Karen self off.
Just in case she looks back, I very visibly pull out my notebook and start writing stuff about her. And then I'll turn around and go join them for food because I am hungry.
Okay. So you make your way into the dining room. You see the young redheaded cook briskly making her way tray after tray of different foods. You do hear a couple more people making their way into the home and going immediately upstairs. Scarlet is standing off to the corner in this long rectangular dining room. It has the very stereotypical 12-foot solid wood dining table, beautiful filigreed chairs, red satin seats, long table runner that's black. There are, of course, the peace lilies all the way down, clearly set for a funeral. Fine china, lined gold silverware. You have your china cabinet at one end. There's the tall frond plant, and next to that tall frond plant, of course, is Scarlet staring at daggers, not at you, Jack, but at Tyson. Yeah.
I want to be like, oh, hey, Crimson. No, you don't like that one? Garnet, Ruby, Berry. You seem more of a sangria. Cherry,
Who
Karat.
let this trash in? Mimi, did you do this?
Sweet.
Where's your invitation, Tyson?
First off, as I believe you recall, I have an open invitation to come whenever I want.
The old man is dead.
Yeah, that changes what?
We'll see tomorrow. And she stomps out.
As she like does that smirk, I know she does. I'm like, click.
You pull out your massive camera and as she like walks, cigarette in hand out, and you do see Edmund meeting her at the door and glaring at you internally, quickly turning and following his mother.
Hey, Edmund.
Middle finger.
Love you too, buddy.
I'm gonna go up to Tyson after all this time, like, warm reception as ever.
Always. You got to give everyone the greatest treatment ever. And Mahogany's not a good fan of being friendly, so.
Yeah.
Why come here if you're so unwelcome?
I mean, why not?
Mimi sets a plate in front of you, Tyson, that has like 4 muffins. There's like a brownie stacked on top. There's carrots. It's like just stacked, and none of it should really be touching. If you're that person that has the food aversion, it's all touching. It's all there. And she sets that with a glass of water and a glass of white wine immediately next to it.
And Tyson takes the carrot, stabs on the muffins, and starts using that as like a cone to eat the muffin. Goes, yeah, I like being here. It's fun.
I'm gonna lean over to Jack and be like, I told you it would be a treat.
It's certainly something so far.
I didn't do it.
Very early in the night, just you wait.
Okay. So do you all sit and kind of take part in the refreshment for the time being?
And is my camera still changed again?
Yep.
I don't trust my own camera right now.
So you set this clonker down on the table, and Jack and Elenora are both decently perceptive enough to notice that his odd aversion to his camera is currently taking place. Mimi is frantically, every time your plate clears, she's bringing more food. You can tell she's helping Viv. Frederick seems to be kind of making his way in and out of the room as you see him come down the wooden stairway down the hall to check on Mimi and Viv, and then making their way back up and out. You can tell that he is arranging other guests. It's quite busy. You do not see Scarlet or Edmund.
Probably for the best.
So Tyson's just gonna be like, nom 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 nom. No, 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 no.
You hear thunder in the distance.
Storm. Oh no, no.
So
Well, I'm
Tyson,
just-
how's your mom?
Doing great, actually. She just recently got a new Pilates instructor. He got me a free gym membership.
Jack, you have no idea what Pilates are.
Okay.
I'm just
So,
gonna
yeah.
be over there, like, eating, like, little pieces of things and just be like, Tyson, was that you I saw on the little scooter going up here?
It is a mountain bike. Top
A
of the line.
mountain bike. Excuse me, Tyson. Why the choice to ride a mountain bike on the steep, perilous journey up here instead? We had a lovely carriage ride. I feel like,
To be completely honest, I forgot what time the carriage was supposed to be leaving, and I was late.
that makes sense for you, Tyson. I shouldn't have even asked.
I always usually keep my bike prepared just in case, because, yeah, so I made it to where the carriage was supposed to be, and it wasn't there, so I just kept riding my bike.
I see. Did you hurt yourself coming up here? I mean,
And, like,
pretty
it
steep.
reaches for the back of his head, and you could see, like, the scar around the arms. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I think I'm good. Mostly.
it definitely looks like you made it unscathed, Tyson. That's very.
I mean,
impressive.
I've had worse.
You
Can I
hear a
ask you
very...
guys something?
Oh, go for it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I want to ask something.
Nope.
So obviously you guys have connections to people within this house, but did you receive some weird invitation? Did it specify why you should come? It's weird to have an invitation to a funeral in the first place, but
I believe that we were all invited for the will reading last I knew, but
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't actually read it. It just told me to come, and I just kind of stopped reading from there.
sure.
of course, Tyson.
Jack, yours did not mention and was not focused on the will reading, obviously.
Yeah, that's I guess that would make sense as to why you'd be here.
I'm
Are you
going to.
investigating something?
What'd you say?
Are you investigating something? Huh?
I maybe.
I just want to emphasize. I bought all my camera equipment.
Pretty sure she said that you didn't.
And Mimi comes through the pantry door and into the kitchen, and she's, oh yes, Dr. Hansen gifts him lots of stuff all the time. And she pauses at the doorway and looks down. Or used to. And she pushes her way back into the kitchen.
Point is, nothing I own is stolen.
You
I
hear a
don't
very
think you
loud
have a motive.
thud above you. And where you are is beneath what would be the master bedroom.
Am I nosy?
Are you?
I'm nosy as hell. God damn. I'm gonna grab a muffin and go. I want to go get a picture of whatever just happened.
Ooh, I'm
Okay.
gonna follow along after Tyson because
Yeah,
I
totally
too am
agree.
nosy.
Okay. So you all
'Cause I
start
love
booking
this
it.
heavy camera.
Okay, so you all start booking it up the stairs. Edmund is coming down the stairs at that moment, and you brush him aside, and you just see a bunch of very angry hand motions and other things as he's frantically reaching for a sign, but you pay him no mind. As you continue down the hallway, Jack, this is your first meeting of Edmund, as his eyes meet yours as you're going up, and they are frigging cold, chills down your spine as he is just
Effort.
daggers at you. Just
And I'll
goes.
keep running.
Yep. So you guys up, and you see this very long hallway, gas lanterns all the way down, similar to the ones that were in the carriage. There are 4 doors, so 2 on each side, and then there's an open door with light coming out, and then at the very end on the left side is the master bedroom, and there's a red door there. but there's to the right, a door is open and light is currently coming out.
So we're gonna pass that door on the way to the red door, right?
Well, they're across from each other. And
Which one would have been
Tyson,
over the dining room?
the one that has the door open. Tyson, you would be decently familiar enough to know the assistant had quarters up here, as well as Hanson's second office was also up here, but you're not exactly sure on the positioning.
Yeah, I never paid that much attention.
Mm-mm.
Open door it is.
So do you just barge in?
Well, it's open, yeah.
Okay. So you barge in. Are you all standing? How close are you all standing?
I'm letting Tyson barge in, and I'm kind of creeping from beside the doorway. I don't want to just walk in on whatever's going on.
Okay. Jack?
I probably would have took at least a step in. So I'd be probably in front of
Okay.
Eleanor.
So you come in and the assistant is lying on the floor, unconscious, blood coming from his nose, seems very pale, and is just laying there, tissue in hand. It looks like he's fallen out of a chair. You pull the big honking camera out.
And click.
Okay.
I'm not a medic, but I do crime scene investigation, so I just want to do a quick sweep to see what I see.
Okay, you can observe a situation.
Yeah.
Since people are taking pictures of the unconscious bleeding man and looking around the room. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoot over.
I'm gonna go
and
check
tell
him.
her. Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
tell Eleanor. Yeah.
You'll tell her. Oh, sure
yeah.
you will, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not medically trained. I am a photographer.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I guess the first question I would have technically is.
Well,
is
roll
he
first.
Is he dead? Well, oh yeah.
I don't know. Roll first.
Well, it's gonna determine on whether I would.
Roll first.
Roll.
He's breathing. Okay.
Okay. All right. That's what I want to know.
It's very, very faint, but like the breaths are deep, but they're like, you can tell it's like, very labored.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What am I adding to this?
This would be the observe a situation, so that is
Okay,
your perception.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a 13 total.
13. So I think, let me double check, because some of these are, the cool thing about this is all of the player moves have different situations for each one.
I think
so
this is ask one question.
one. You get
Okay.
one question about the room.
Hold on, I gotta think about it. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't even know if you could answer this, but oh shit, I don't even know if. Okay. What was the chain of events?
You want to
Can
see
I-
if you can observe, like kind of tell what happened?
Yeah, deduce how he ended up in that position.
Okay. Ooh. What's your soul score?
That'd be a -2, I think. Hold on. Yep, -2.
Okay.
You gotta listen to more jazz.
That's
I
right.
know.
I have 0 funk.
It looks like the position, he's fallen out of this green velveteen armchair. It looks like he was possibly, like, there's an open book on the floor next to him. It looks like perhaps he was reading and then collapsed out of the chair. It is odd, I will say. It looks like he's collapsed out of the chair. It is odd because he is 5 feet away from the chair.
Okay.
But the best you can tell is really, it looks like he fell or was pulled or thrown from the chair. But there is nobody else in there, and there is no other disturbance.
Is he on his back?
He's on his face,
Okay.
bleeding into the floor.
Got
So
it.
this is what you see. Eleonora.
While all this is going on, I'm going to like be annoyed that they're both like not doing anything. I'm gonna like sigh and like roll my eyes and walk over to the assistant and kind of start like checking him, like trying to like arouse him, be like, "Oh, are you
Yeah.
all right?" Like trying to.
For this one, let's just go ahead, just roll the 2d10 for me, just to see kind of how capable.
It's an 11.
Okay, this isn't your area of expertise.
Yeah.
but you can feel like as you just kind of, you're not really sure what you're doing, but you're like, I know people do this. So
Yeah.
you put your finger like right there on his throat, and you can feel a pulse. It is
Okay.
like, but it is heavy. As labored as it is, each heartbeat is heavy. But he's very cold. As you look, I mean, very dark circles. You can see like he's very pale. He looks anemic. And go ahead as you touch him and make a soul roll for me.
Just while she's doing that, I want to say I'm gonna run out of the room, which we can come back to here in a second. But
Oh, okay.
I got a 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely, as you're holding him, that void cold, you can feel it pulling you
Okay.
again. But at the same time, like as you're feeling this, there's like a hot, sharp pain to the back of your neck.
Okay.
Like between your shoulder blades, lower neck back there. There's just this really hot, sharp pain, and as you pull back.
Okay. I'm gonna sit up and like look over to the two of them and be like, can y'all help me set him up? I feel like someone hit him. I don't know.
Sure.
He's bleeding a lot. I think
It's coming from his nose. Do you investigate further onto him, or do you? I mean, he's laying there, labored breathing.
I'm definitely gonna check and see like if I can tell like if he like broke his nose falling or something like that. If that's the cause of his bleeding, like
As you're looking,
to, like turn his head.
Yeah, you turn his head. Everything feels fine. There's no clicking or breaking. He's probably ill-advised to move it, but no, he just seems to have a nosebleed.
Okay.
And the blood is very dark, like it's not well oxygenated.
I just want to help Elenora get the body into whatever position Eleanor's asking.
Okay, so you two are doing this. Jack, you run out the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna run back downstairs. I would assume Mimi's probably in the dining room. I'm gonna find somebody. I want to ask for a medic, so I want to find somebody to ask for a quick.
As you run down the stairs and you run into the dining room, at the corner next to the minibar, there is a woman standing, waist-high slacks, red button-up vest, and a small bow tie, hair slicked back, long, dark brunette, deep bronze olivine skin, very dark brown eyes, kind of a huskier, broad-built woman as she's sitting there, and she has like a bottle in hand, and there are some shot glasses out as she's pouring them. Can I help you?
Yeah, we need a medic upstairs. Somebody passed out or fainted or something. Take your time.
I'm sorry. I'm just hired here to help with the drinks.
Sure.
You'd like one? She has one full just sitting there, and she's just kind of like, I honestly don't know where anybody is.
Hold that thought, and then I'm gonna keep running to where where Mimi was coming in and out of the kitchen.
Yeah, so you go into the kitchen, and Mimi is sitting there washing dishes. Just like has her like sleeves rolled up and is just like all happy and just washing dishes away.
We need a medic upstairs. Somebody fainted or hurt
Oh, good
themselves.
gracious. Oh my, it wasn't Lillard, was it? He did that yesterday. And she just runs past you and makes her way up the stairs. You could, like, for being such a small woman with little short legs, she is quick. There's just this little blur of little plump gray haired woman just boop, hauls through a door. Like, you do not see the door. Like, so she goes into what looks like the pantry and disappears. You hear doors swinging and closing, but she goes into what is the pantry and is gone.
Okay, I'm gonna walk outside. All right, yeah, I'll have that drink now.
And the bartender hands you the drink. Eventful day, I suppose.
Weird beyond belief.
Oh, as she kind of throws one back with you. I'm sorry, what did I get myself into? She's pouring another drink already, like for herself.
I literally have no idea. Horse-drawn carriage up here. Weird people here for a weird death.
You're telling me. And she hands you another one. Takes one. And she's like, as she's handing you one, she's already like filling up another one.
What's your name?
Name's Delilah.
Jack.
Fortunate name. She's pouring more.
It's nice to meet somebody here that doesn't seem so involved.
Oh no, I like to stay out of everybody else's business. I'm here to do one thing, and that is to provide the entertainment. As she like motions towards the vast array of drinks. All these people.
Would you do me a favor? Just since I know that most people are going to be coming by here some point to see you.
They are indeed.
Anything a little more than strange. Just keep an eye out for it.
I can do that, although I feel like that's going to be a little bit more frequent than I thought, as she's already pouring.
Take right now as a baseline. Anything more than that, let me know.
Noted. Takes it. I can do
Cheers.
that. Are you staying or are you continuing to leave?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
As you hit the doorway, you hear almost under her breath, "What a shame you left those children."
What?
I said, "What a shame about poor Hanson." As she kind of looks down. I catered to a lot of his parties.
Yeah. Bummer. All right. Have a good evening.
She kind of motions, and you can she's like heavily drinking. She seems deeply upset.
All right, I'm gonna make a note of her too on my way back up to the stairs.
Okay. So back in the room, Elenora and Tyson, you're sitting there checking, and you hear like frantic steps coming down the hallway as the door behind you slams shut.
The room
And
that we're in.
Yep, just slam shut. And that is where we're going to take our quick break. So please be sure to enter knock knock into the chat to enter our Mithril Armory giveaway. We are giving away a set of Mithril Armory 1020s. All you have to do is enter in knock knock into the chat, and we will draw the winner when we come back. So we're going to take about 5-10 minute break probably, and we will be back. So go step into the sunlight if it's still up for you, because nothing's going wrong, guys. Everything's
Sweating
normal.
so much.
Okay.
And I guess we will be back shortly with our poor lost souls. Red Ram. Welcome back from the break, everybody. So we are going to draw our winner for our mid-show break. So make sure one word, enter it in, last chance, knock, knock. I'm going to give you a second while I say Red Ram one more time. And I'm totally not going to start unleashing horrors on these guys. 3, 2, 1, we met you's winner. I don't know how this works.
There's a delay, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It works. It does the thing. Oh, Nancy! It's you winner the giveaway. I'm so excited for yay. You guys.
Gotta love that last minute submission.
Yeah, clutch.
Like one of my favorite loves. I'm very excited. Hit up Danny. you know to do the thing. Cool. So we're gonna come back in.
Do we have to?
Yes. Yes, we do. So, Jack, you leave the bartender and begin briskly making your way back up the stairs. As you hit the top of the stairs, you see Mimi make it to the door. And you see the door slam in her face. It like catches her and she is knocked back. Elenora and Tyson, the door slams behind you. The lamp flickers. The single gas lamp in the room flickers. Yes.
I would like to accidentally trigger my enhanced awareness.
Okay. Please roll. That is your, let me see which one, that one. Okay, yeah, that is going to be soul.
17.
Screw you. You can discern Cleatil. Okay. Okay. The lights flicker. As they flicker and you're looking around, you see Eleonora's face dart downward, kind of in a state of panic. As Elenora, this is triggering what you recently went through.
Okay.
As you're looking around, you look up and you begin to peer up from the collapsed body of the assistant, Lillard. The chair, Elenora, you're not gonna, we'll see how much you see of this, actually.
Okay.
Tyson, you see the armchair is tattered and moth-eaten and dusty and old. You see the curtains are tattered and worn. You see wallpaper torn from the walls. You see exposed boards, dust, cobwebs. You see the books rotted and fallen off. The lights flicker and come back, and everything looks as it was. Elenora, go ahead and let's just do, I want you to keep it together, so that's going to be a willpower roll from you.
Okay.
As this is definitely triggering some ish.
That's an 8.
Oh god.
God.
Is it possible? Never
To
mind.
help and hinder? Are you trying to help her?
Yeah, I'm trying. That's the thing we can do, right?
Help and hinder is a thing you can do. Let's see. I mean, I will allow you, because you are near her, that you see her begin to panic, and I will allow you to like reach out. So please roll.
Yeah, come specifically as soon as I see the room in the way and the condition that it is, I'm going to reach for Eleonora's hand and use that as a. So it's which attribute am I rolling?
This would be willpower.
Willpower? Do I have any? I do. Oh, that's a 15.
So your roll, Elenora, goes from a 9 to an 11.
Good.
So
As soon as Tyson touches me, do I see anything from like his side?
Ooh, okay, let's see here. Okay, so you do manage to kind of still yourself. However, you are scared. So you do lose 1 stability.
Okay.
As he touches you, in this moment, you're so scared from everything that you feel that cold break for just a moment, and his touch on your arm is warm. It's just enough to bring you back from the cusp of completely panicking, but you are scared.
Okay. But I don't see anything, his future or anything like that going on.
Not in this moment. Your brain is everywhere else. There is so much it's you can feel it trying, but there's just so much fear that it feels like static in your brain at the moment. Jack, you see Mimi get chunked back as this door slams.
Yeah, I will help her up.
Run. And you can see her nose is busted and there's blood just pouring down her face as she is just like, this poor little older woman is just like holding it. Oh my god. Oh, what?
Yeah.
And you can tell she's distinctly dazed. She is not offering or making much sense. She hurts.
might have startled them or something, and I'm gonna pull out a handkerchief that is not the
Just-
best condition, but there you go.
It smells like cigarette smoke and sweat, but she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
just
And then Ronan, the ever showman, is going to knock on the door.
you knock on the door and it just opens. Just and you see Elenora on the verge of panic, and you see Tyson frantically looking around the room. As everything looks normal, as you kind of step in just a bit, a moth grazes your face and lands out into the hallway. And as you look into the hallway, there are several moths kind of like pinging and tinking against one of the lanterns.
What time of? It's like day, right? It's like.
Mhm.
Cool. Everything okay in here?
Mimi is just kind of collecting herself and getting up and like pushing past you. What? Why did you?
I went to get a medic, and now she needs a medic.
You know, everything's good, everything's fine, everything's wonderful, fantastic. Let us on the ground. Rooms.
Why did you slam the door?
No.
I'm literally just sitting there, just like shaking, just non-responsive.
As like, this is trying to keep Elenora calm. Is like,
Tyson, roll me a 2d10.
No,
Yes.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Why would you? No, that's a 7.
Oh my god.
No.
I'm so
As
composed.
you look up and you see a familiar detective, and your arm is over a shaking ally. There's blood all over the floor, and you begin to quiver, and your spine becomes cold, and in your mind you begin to hear screaming and crashing waves, and you shoot yourself back and begin crawling, like frantically pushing away with your feet, and back yourself against the wall, and just let out this blood-curdling scream. And the scream drowns out the sounds of the waves, the sounds of tearing flesh, the sound of blood splatter. And finally you stop screaming and everything is silent. You lose the stability.
I'm gonna hold my hand out. Like it's okay. It's okay.
Am I back?
Yeah, everything looks as it is, and you just see Elenora probably
Oh, I'm straight up crying at this point. I don't know what's going on, and I'm scared, and everyone's screaming.
Oh no.
Um,
I'm so confused.
Mimi is like kind of frantic, and she's just like, ah! And she like takes her hand off, and there's just blood pouring as she's like trying to tend to Tyson, and like
No, it's fine.
You hear the clacking of heels down the hallway, and Scarlet bursts. Excuse me, is there a reason all of you are being?
So,
Dear God!
Get
Get that man to his bedroom. What did you do to him?
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to accidentally trigger another ability.
Okay.
I'd like to accidentally trigger inner power. I'm panicking, so I feel like it would accidentally trigger, and I was hoping Scarlet wouldn't show up, but I feel like Scarlet's considered an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to know, do I
Roll it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That is 11, that's a 14.
A 14. Yep. So. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. So you are sitting there and you look over at her, and immediately you see Tyson. Go ahead, and Elenora and Jack, go ahead and make a soul roll for me, please.
Okay.
And then I will tell you what you guys see. Actually, let's do this all together, friends.
That is a 13.
Okay.
I got a 15 minus 2, so it's also a 13.
Okay. Okay. In this moment, Tyson, do me a favor as well and make a soul roll. Actually, I need to see how much of this you see as well.
That is 15.
Okay. So, Tyson, you see as you glance up at her and she's glaring daggers and her finger points to that spindly sharp finger that has always accused you of stealing things from Edmund, to assault, everything always pointing at you, and this rage builds in your gut, and almost instinctively you take this deep breath in, and she is suddenly shunted, almost jerked back into the hallway and into the corner of the hallway. You see nothing. It just looks like she is just shunted back. Elenora and Jack. From the corner of your eyes, Jack, as you are standing next to her, you see a black, long pointed hand reach, grab, pierce into her shoulder and rip her back. Elenora, you see this hand come from the shadows behind and jerk her. And in that moment, there is a flash before your eyes as everything around you is dilapidated and breaking. And it flashes back to normal and everything is Scarlet is crying in the corner of the hallway. And Mimi bursts through the door past all of you and just runs down the hallway and is screaming, help! Like just frantically.
I'm still crying. I'm just gonna take my head in my hands and just be like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Just like losing it.
Boom of thunder outside.
I would like to try, because I'm hearing Elenora, and I don't know if like our relation matters, how this is a trigger. I would like to try to keep it together so that way I can try to help.
Yeah, you lose your stability, like you lose that 1 point of stability, but you at that moment, like you come to, you take like this and you see what you can observe, everything that's going on around you. Yes, you're a little less stable at the moment, but you see your friend in panic, and you see the look on Jack's face as he is like peering over his shoulder, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go try to keep Elenora calm.
So you are comforting Elenora, Jack and Elenora.
So did the hand pull her completely out of the room?
Yeah, it like grabbed her. It looked like it dug in and just ripped her out of that room.
Jack would go out in the hallway to see if there's something out there.
You run out into the hallway, and the moths are gone from the lamp, and there is just Scarlet sitting there crying and shaking, and Edmund is just barreling down that hallway, and immediately just runs to his mother and is like holding her shoulders and is looking up and is just like, and as you see him like gasping and mouthing at you, you see the intense scarring on the inside of his mouth from where his tongue has been removed, as he is just like mouthing, and it's a little unsettling, but he is mouthing at you and motioning, and you can tell he's asking like, what happened?
I have no idea.
And he just like takes his mother, picks her up and is like helping her up and is like briskly walking, as Scarlet is not looking at anybody. She is just shaking and crying and walking.
All right, I'll turn to go back in the room, and anybody within earshot would hear Jack mutter, "Natural causes my ass," and go back to see if Elenora is okay.
Elenora, in this moment, you now have Tyson trying to comfort you, and Jack is approaching you. What are you doing?
I feel like I am very overwhelmed by the presence of both of them, but I also want to try and use magical intuition again, because as much as all this is going on, I'm desperately trying to decipher where this hand came from, what I just saw, like what it was connected to.
Okay.
Please.
And that's a soul roll, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I like you, don't do this.
Alrighty, that's a 15.
Oh, okay. That's good. So you can choose all three options if you would like. Pick any of the options you want. You can ask me all of them.
I want to learn something about the creature's true nature. Then I'm trying to find out the source of whatever.
Vengeance.
Ooh.
You immediately, with that creature, all you sense is hatred and anger and vengeance and a sense of pleasure.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll just ask all three.
Okay.
If it has a magical nature.
What are you trying to see?
I'm trying to see.
Like what item are you trying to see if it has a magical nature? I should say that. Item, person, place.
I'm trying to see if any person here has a magical nature to them, I guess. Specifically, I would guess towards Scarlet or Edmund.
Okay.
They were the ones that it targeted.
Scarlet has no magical nature.
Okay.
As you're trying to sense and you sense nothing, as Edmund is approaching and picking her up, there's a flicker.
Okay.
It is lonely and jealous.
But do I think the two are connected? The hand and...
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
They feel very, very different. And in this moment, the third option, as you're looking around, this place is heavy and cold. This end of the house is where that feeling was coming from before.
Okay.
You feel lonely and cold and isolated, and it's dark. You can hear your heart. Everything is growing darker and darker with every heartbeat around you. And then you hear Tyson and Jack, and you snap out of it.
Once I come to, I'm gonna try to kind of wave them off a little bit just to give me some air. I'm just gonna look up at them and be like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think there is a darkness in the house. Again, I know this sounds crazy, but that wasn't natural. I don't know what we saw, but it wasn't. Just starts shaking her head.
Talking about mahogany getting thrown across the hallway?
She's just gonna look up at Tyson and just, yes, mahogany, as you call her. That was something.
Honestly, I thought somebody tripped her, but I guess it's hard to trip that far.
It might be a little difficult.
I don't want to be devil's advocate here, but you two are here for a will reading, and if they want you gone, might as well spook you out in the first night. I'm not so sure that we're not dealing with something a little planned here.
Oh, you're thinking like maybe like string pulled her to spook us, and yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
As much as I like that idea.
Oh, he's still alive.
I'm gonna like lightly punch him.
Lightly.
You lightly punch him?
Look, he coughed and I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. Like all this, and I'm like flinch punch him.
Okay, roll. You're hurting him, so please engage in combat with the unconscious man.
It's okay. I have a -2 to that because oh damn. That's an 18.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 20. Like,
Poor man, he's going through it, and we're just punching him in the face.
I think I found your dark presence.
Yeah, you deal a harm to him.
Whoops.
And you can see him start to sit up, and he's like coughing, and then Tyson just like cold cocks him, and he's just like back out.
I'm sitting on the floor and I'm just watching this happen, and I just start laughing hysterically because I'm just so out of it at this point. I'm just like, this night cannot get weirder.
What?
Look, okay. People were being thrown around. I saw some things, and then I heard the cough nearby, and I forgot that we was dealing with him. Okay.
There's a lady serving drinks downstairs. Perhaps you should go take the edge off.
I'm gonna stand up and dust myself off. I think that might be a good idea for all of us, but I'm a little worried about him.
Is Mimi still here? Mimi's downstairs. Mimi, right
No,
now.
Mimi's gone. About that moment, Frederick calmly approaches the door. Did you...
It was Edmund.
Oh, Tyson, just get out of my way. And he picks up Lillard. He did this yesterday. Why does he have a... Did he fall that
He fell.
hard?
Yep. Hard
Fell
ground.
really hard.
There's no reason for him to doubt this, or I would make you roll.
Just laughing over on the floor still.
Elenora, I understand that you have a darker sense of humor. This is not a time for it. This is you voodoo. And he like makes like hands at you because you can tell he's kind of superstitious a little bit. You know that he's been a little colder towards you in the past. I'm out of my way. And he's like the very large man is hoisting Lillard and walking out with him, and you can tell he's kind of like checking pulse as he's walking.
I have an important question before you go. Click.
Big. Oh, mother. Tyson, I swear to God. And he's just like walking away, kind of dragging Lillard. Yeah, as old looking as Frederick is, you can tell he's very built. He does not have any issue picking up Lillard and walking with this kind of chubby guy. No issue at all. And walks away with him.
Who's the big guy?
By the way, he drags 2 doors down and opens it, and you would assume that is Lillard's room.
That was the butler. There was drinks involved. I feel like that.
I think that is a great idea, Tyson. I'm gonna stand up and kind of brush myself off and I guess start heading downstairs.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you go together? Or separately?
Oh, I'm
That
not
was
doing by
ominous as
myself.
fuck.
I'm definitely waiting for them.
Tyson just starts doing the usual. No, yeah, I'm confident that nothing of this is real, and just goes back to optimism again.
What is your position in the hallway? Like, are you side by? Like, it's wide enough 2 people could walk side by side, but not 3. So, positions.
I will bring up the rear.
Okay.
I'm going to be in the front. Whether or not Elenora is going to be next to Tyson or behind Tyson is, I guess.
Okay.
I think she's next to him.
Okay. So you make your way down the creaking hallway. The floorboards feel creakier than they were when you first came down them. As you make your way, there's a single moth crawling up the wall beside you. You hit the stairwell and begin to make your way down. You can hear some rustling from some of the spare rooms, assuming there are more guests that have arrived. You begin to walk down, and Jack, as you look back down the hallway, the master bedroom door creaks open just slightly.
Is there a person in the crack?
You can't tell from this angle. You can just see that it opened probably about 1 inch.
Hey, guys, did he pass away in the master bedroom?
I believe.
Elenora, rumor had it, from what you have rumored from your occult buddies, yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna look over at Jack and I'll be like, I've heard from others that he did pass away in the master bedroom, but I myself have no certain knowledge if he did or not.
Okay, you guys go on ahead. I'm just gonna take a quick peek since no one's around, and that's what I want to look at. So,
Listen, I'm not normally one to help cops, but sir,
I'm not a cop anymore.
oh well, then I don't have any qualms helping you. Do not go by yourself.
We'll just wait right here. I'm just gonna peek my head in. I'm not gonna go in there.
And fine, you know what? Whatever. Hold on.
Calm down.
I want to make sure I get a picture of you before you do something dumb.
No, don't, because I want to be able to see. Stop it. All right, so turn on. I'm literally just going
Just
to...
walking. As you're walking, the door creaks closed. And then the grandfather clock at the end of the hallway goes off and chimes, loudly echoing, and suddenly multiple moths erupt from the grandfather clock at the base of it, like underneath, like it startles them, and they just swarm past you.
Ooh. I don't like that. I'm immediately like up against
an
the
old
wall
house.
trying to...
It's an old house. It's fine. I'm gonna try the door.
It's locked.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
As you go to twist the door handle, it twists back.
Okay.
And you hear on the other side.
Is it one of the... God, stop it. Is it one of those, like, I'm imagining a big Victorian like door handle.
Yes.
Like, can I see through the keyhole? Like, can I try to peer through the keyhole?
As you do, you peer through the hole. Looks like just a dark room. Make an observe.
Which one? All of this. I'm good at those.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. Okay. You know the drill.
All right.
Ask 2 questions.
Is there a smell emanating from the room?
Musty, dusty iron? Copper.
Okay. And can I see, are there any shadow movement from like underneath, like the gap between the door and the floor?
So you peer through the hole, and the only light coming in is lunchtime.
Okay.
Is light coming through the drawn curtains. They're closed, but there's just a little bit. And as you're staring, because you can't make out much, you see what you thought was the edge of the window move away and reveal more window curtain. So this line of darkness just pulls away. You don't make out a shape, but you see something move in there.
Jack! How's it going?
Good. Does anybody else stay in here?
I mean,
The master
Mr.
before he
Hanson.
died.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, he's dead now. So, like, anybody else?
at some point, that Ruby lady might have been in there, but I'm pretty sure that's just his personal room.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm coming back. And just before I leave, I just want to try the handle again.
It's unlocked.
God damn. Okay. All right. I'm gonna peek in.
You peek in. Empty, dark room. It's dark in here. Can't see much. Looks undisturbed. You can see where the bed was made, and it looks like it had been pulled back for somebody to get into bed and then has not been touched. There's still a half a glass of water on the nightstand by the bed. There's a little bit of glistening coming from the floor, but it's dark in here.
Alright.
You smell dust. You can see that there's a wool cart, like a wool rug. The traditional, I mean, as you've come to expect, bookshelves and another doorway. Clearly, what would be like a master bathroom is open. There's another door.
All right. Assuming the sense of dread is gone, I'm just gonna open the door. I don't know if he died in here, but I'm gonna run on the assumption he did. So I'm gonna do the crime scene investigation thing.
Are you leaving the lights off?
Right. Can I make it to the?
There is a gas lamp on the other side. You can tell it's like a very tall, you can even tell with the little bit of light that's hitting, it's a very like 6 foot tall bronze lamp with like the white shade, little pearls.
I don't want to walk like right through the scene I'm about to investigate just in case, but if I could walk around, if there's curtains on the other side, could I just throw back the curtains to kind of let natural light in?
Yeah, so you walk over and you throw the curtains open.
Yep, that's what I did. I said that.
And you turn around and yes, Tyson.
That situation at the window, was this the window to this
No,
room? No,
it was
okay.
not.
Just, I realized I wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah.
Nope, different window. So you throw open the curtains and light kind of flashes over you. And for a brief moment, you look outside, you see sunlight, you feel kind of better, and then you turn around.
Right.
You now see on one of the pillars of the bed, like claw marks running down. Like they look like human fingernails dug in and were dragged down. You see ripped up part of the rug where it's like frayed and it looks like something was being drugged. You see on the floor, there is what appears to be like a silver hand mirror. But scattered around it is broken black glass.
Okay. Can I do my crime scene thing to do the questions? All right. Cool.
But that's just what you blatantly see these things.
Okay.
They are not hard to see. There are other things, but these are not hard to see.
6.
Tyson's gonna just nudge Elenora. I feel like it's weird that he's just creeping around Hanson's room.
So you see all this. You see light come from the doorway suddenly. What are you guys doing?
I'm assuming I'm just standing there and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm just gonna lean back to Tyson and I was like, I feel like we're okay because he's a cop, but I also feel like we're not okay because he's a cop.
I mean, he said he's not a cop anymore. I feel like that's even worse.
That is even worse. What got him kicked off the force? Like,
can you guys please be quiet?
Yeah, you don't know this. So roll your investigation.
In his hallway, she's talking shit about a cop.
I forgot my thing. 18.
Okay. Have at it.
All right. Can I determine? If foul play looks like it was involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was weirdly, you get an immediate sense as you're looking around. This is weirdly violent.
Okay.
Like, only, and it's not because you, even in your mind, looking at the marks through the hardwood, this is a hard oak, like, pillar. The fingernail, you could maybe rationalize away the fact that maybe he fell in the fit of a seizure and just dug in as he felt. But after that, there are 2 foot long drag marks where it looks, the more that you observe the situation, gripping for dear life.
Tyson's gonna be walking into the room because Tyson got bored waiting.
Okay, so are you following Elenora as he is making his way down the hallway?
Yeah, I'm following along, but I'm very cautious about it. I'm like watching the walls and the curtains and everything, every as we go.
Okay,
Halfway
so
through episode 1, we're paranoid as hell.
So you're making your way down the hallway, and what is your second question?
Second question is, can I tell the last time somebody was in this room?
Looking around, it really looks like it hasn't been disturbed much. There is dust across the nightstand, which is weird. All throughout this time that you've been in the home, it's a very well kept home. But yet, on this side of the house, you keep noticing surfaces covered in dust, both lived in and not. But there's dust covering the nightstand. Even parts of the mirror seem to be dusted over. It looks like it's probably been left alone, probably since a week ago when he passed.
Okay. Okay.
So you're peering down, like looking at this shattered mirror and the mark on the ground. As Tyson, you make your way and you see the scene before you.
This is what I'm talking about. This is not natural. Why does everyone pretend it is?
Rich people things?
Okay, that's pretty accurate, but this is beyond.
I don't know. One time I remember when I walked into my mom and they had a bunch of weird toys going on when they were playing stuff.
Nope, that's different.
I mean, these claw marks look very familiar.
I've seen both. This is not that.
You've seen? You don't seem like the type of person that has much experience in. Never mind. Anyway.
Not the place.
Footsteps down the hallway.
We should probably leave.
Quickly coming down the hallway.
Walks out.
As I leave, I'm like, this isn't the bathroom.
As you're walking out, Frederick is standing in the hallway.
Bathroom?
Malbu.
Lots of doors.
Yeah, and Edmund
Tyson.
Here.
Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Take Elenora and go downstairs. I need to speak with Mr. Graves.
Graves, that's right. Detective Graves. I kept thinking
Go downstairs, Tyson.
And like Tyson's gonna do the like half smirk and kind of like reach for Eleanor's hand and be like, and we're moving.
I'm just slowly following along because I'm just still terrified.
Mr. Graves, might I suggest, if you're going to conduct your investigation, you do it a bit more discreetly. Lunch is in the parlor. And he turns sharply and begins to walk.
Can I ask you something?
Stops, turns.
Why do you guys say this was natural causes?
I never did. Coroner did.
Coroner's full of shit.
Why do you think you're here? As he's walking away.
And I'll just slowly follow towards the lunch.
Door closes. When you about reach the end of the hallway.
I'll keep walking.
As you're making your way down the stairs, just echoing. And Elenora and Tyson, you've made your way downstairs. You see the usual suspects. You see Viv comforting Mimi, like cleaning up her nose, and they're like kind of off to the side outside of the dining room, like trying to avoid being, bothering guests. As you make your way into like the parlor area, which is attached to the dining, you can see just kind of a handful of people that none of you recognize. They all seem faceless to you in this moment. Just, they don't matter. As you're looking at them, it's hard for you to distinguish details. Like you go to hold up your camera, and for the first time since you've been here, it just feels blank as you're hoisting your massive camera.
As this is going on, I'm gonna grab Tyson's sleeve and like drag him over to like a corner of the room and just kind of like whisper to him and just be like, Tyson, I know we've known each other for a while now. I think we need to get out of here.
Yes. Oh, what? Oh, we need.
Yes, but I think we are in very, very big danger here. I think there is something evil here. And
yeah, her name is literally evil. The first part of her name is blood, basically.
not exactly what I was thinking about. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I agree with you on there. She is the devil, but
Sanguine. That's what I'll call her now. Yes.
Sanguine is a lovely name, Tyson. But I think we are on the verge of being murdered. Not to worry you or anything, but I think we need to get out of here.
I mean, being murdered? You think someone here wants to murder us?
I mean, I don't know how Hanson died. That room looked very suspicious. I don't know. I think something weird is going on here. Have you noticed all the other people here? I don't know any of them.
Well, I mean, the only reason I know Hanson is because he hooked up with my mother multiple times and then kind of just spoiled me a bit. And to my understanding, Mother had other partners and Hanson had other partners. These just might be other business partners, collaborators, collectors, bastard children.
That's why I don't put that, past him. They seem off. I don't know. I can't explain it. There's something wrong.
As they're all talking around you, you can't distinguish the words that they're saying.
I mean,
It's kind of the wah 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 wah, like, and you're not, honestly, neither of you are sure if it's because of what you just went through or.
I think with what Eleanor is saying will accidentally trigger my enhanced awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use that.
Yep.
That is 15, 18.
18. Let me look at this crap again.
I can discern clear details regarding the location, so I can see the actual truth.
Okay. You are looking around, and so all of these people are facing away from you. And in a brief flash, the food on the table is rotten. The chairs are broken. There's dust everywhere. The china cabinet has been ransacked. The window is open and broken, and wind and rain are starting to pour through. These people standing before you are in tattered clothes, and one of them turns to look at you, and their faces blink as you snap back to reality.
In that moment, Mimi and Viv are in this room too?
They're in the next room.
Oh, damn. Okay. So it's completely faceless people in here. None of these are like Viv, the bartender.
Nope.
So, Eleanor, you can see things, right? Like, that's what you do.
Yes, sometimes, maybe.
There's a very loud boom of thunder and a crash of lightning outside as the rain becomes overwhelming. It is very torrential in that moment.
Here's the problem. Even if we wanted to leave, we couldn't. At least not today.
Yeah, you
You're
guys
right.
can't leave.
And Jack, you walk up in this moment as he's talking about leaving, and you hear this like crash of thunder. It startles you as you kind of stumble into them.
I mean,
You guys are both terrified, which means I need you here because I know you're not a part of this.
I'm
Wait, he just
glad
called
you
me
think
Misty?
we didn't murder him. Thanks, but
Not this. Not
Oh,
that. But
okay.
this. All of this. This
I mean-
charade. All of it.
I don't look. I came to be nice. You know, Hanson was a great guy. He treated my mother well. But like, I'm seeing things, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Like,
I'm gonna look over at Tyson then and be like, "You're seeing things too. What did you see?"
look, man, everything's off. Everything.
We're tracking.
This place has always looked nice every time I came, but since we've been here, my camera is not what I remember. The table is in shambles. These chairs are broken. These people aren't people. And that's not counting the sanguine being pulled and thrown across the hallway. And Lilith, he's always been a weird guy. Klutzy. But whatever he's got afflicted, that's not normal either. Okay? And when we were in there, I heard the sound of waves and waters and the screams. And it's not normal. Okay?
I'm just gonna grab him and be like, "Oh, thank God! I thought I was losing my mind."
But you see it too.
I did. I heard screaming in the back of my head and this dark presence. Did it sound like a child when you heard the screaming?
For me, it wasn't a child.
I'm gonna instinctively accidentally look at Jack when I say this and then look back.
Okay. We got invited. There's Will reading. It's only 48 hours, right? We've got the wake, the Will reading, and we can go home after that.
Don't forget, it does dawn on you that the funeral is also in the morning. And you know that everything that would have been brought in preparation for the funeral is present on the property.
Listen, let's all kind of relax a bit. I would recommend maybe staying away from the food. Go outside, get some fresh air. Just calm down.
It is pouring down rain, but you do know that the porch is covered all the way around the north side.
And finally, Tyson's also gonna finally open the camera bag that I still have, because I have like a bunch of like equipment that was supposed to be on camera. Like, what is it? Is it still that equipment, or does my bag have different items? Like, when I open it,
which items?
So I specifically have like a mic attachment. I have a light attachment.
So you pull out a lantern and like kind of like it looks like the gramophone, but it's like this little one that you pull out.
See,
It's
look.
got like a little handle on the side.
I have good money was spent on a good camera.
It looks fine. I don't know. Listen, chill out. It's fine.
It looks the same like it always does, Tyson.
No, this camera is supposed to be top of the line. This thing looks like it was used during the wars. Okay, this is it's a lantern.
a lantern. Yeah. Light.
This is supposed to have a full-fledged like light attachment piece, like a.
Let's step outside. Let's step outside.
I think that might do us some good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I feel a lot better now though, because I just thought Tyson. Well, I was crazy, but now Tyson's being crazy, so I feel more better.
Let's not jump the gun on conclusions here.
So as you all go to step outside, please make perception, just like a perception.
Oh, I
for
failed.
just each of you.
Tyson has 0 perception.
Okay, and that's okay.
7.
9.
12.
12.
Someone knows how to look at things.
Elenora and Tyson, you are kind of frantic in this moment. Your focus is on calming Tyson and getting him out the door. Jack, you're bringing up the rear a little bit. You come down the hallway and turn into the foyer to exit. And as you look back down the hallway, the dining hall, like they're swinging doors as Viv goes in, you see them swing open. And as they swing open, all of the people in there having conversations are staring at you, and then they close back.
They're not, I'm assuming for me, they're not faceless.
No, they're just a bunch of people staring at you. And then they close back as you make your way out.
I don't say anything.
So the lightning crashes as this seems to be a fairly violent storm. The covered porch does okay. It's probably about 6 feet, but you can see further towards that northern side of the house that there is a larger awning that is much more protected. It's made for lounging outside. Elenora and Tyson are both familiar enough with this to know that exists there. And Jack, you did eye this earlier, so you do know that this area exists.
When we're outside, is my camera still from the wars?
Yes, it is.
Do you guys want to have a seat? Just take a little breather. Got a little tense in there.
I'm gonna sit down with Tyson, just kind of just rubbing his back, trying to make myself feel better by helping someone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I will allow, please, those of you who have lost stability in this time, intentionally taking time to comfort, please roll your 2d10 with 0 modifiers.
10.
10?
That's weird.
I will allow both of you to regain a stability.
Oh, bad.
Yay.
But
Oh.
the caveat being that you will feel inclined to have the company of a person
Okay.
until I say otherwise, basically. Until like you rest. But for this in-game day, you feel clingy as fuck.
have a thunder buddy. Got it.
Yes. That is the so you guys are sitting out on this patio, the rain is pouring down.
I take a cigarette out, light it up. So I'm assuming these weirdos are always kind of this strange. Maybe.
Not typically.
Scarlet strikes me as the type to always be like that, and the butler seems a bit off.
I mean, they're all eccentric, but this is very unusual. I have never been here and this kind of thing happen.
I mean, a guy fell out of a chair and another guy was clearly murdered. It's not too unusual for the city.
It's strange here.
While they're talking, am I able to like see some of my photos?
Yes. How far away from them are you standing?
I'm next to Elenora, because Elenora, I guess, was, yeah. So I'm next to Elenora at least. But I'm also like looking away, like while they're talking, I'm looking the other way at my camera.
Yeah. So as you look away, your camera looks normal, and you're scrolling through the pictures. They're all there.
And everything looks like what I saw when I took the picture?
Yeah. You're flipping through, and you stop on one. The picture you took of the assistant on the floor.
Yep.
You notice in the picture, you zoom in a bit because there's something on his face. And you zoom in, and there is a moth crawling out of his nostril. And you pan out just a bit, and you notice a small gray hand just resting under the edge of the chair in the shadow.
Eleanor, can you see this?
And you whip around the big honking camera.
It's heavy.
Yes, Tyson?
The camera, man, you got to get over this.
Yeah. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out, okay? It's gonna be all right.
I think a lot of this is just in your guys' head. Just chill out, breathe through the nose, out through the mouth, and
Did you see the woman that was thrown? I don't think that's natural.
Maybe. It's hard to tell. Lighting's terrible in there. I'm not sure what I saw.
I definitely saw something, and it was not a trick of the lighting.
If I can't explain it though, it doesn't mean it's unnatural. It just means I don't understand it yet.
Whenever Jack is bringing this up, can I try to use bound to try and one of the things to see the true form of a creature or location? Yes, it's called bound.
Those reaction. What word? Bound?
Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
I told y'all she has a.
That is a 16.
Oh. Then you can choose up to 3 of these options.
Okay, the one I want to do is try to see the true form of whatever the hand was.
Well, you have to be able to. It has to be in front of you.
Dang it!
But I will allow you look. Ooh, I love that you did this.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
You look kind of out of the corner of your eye because there are just the big, kind of the 6-foot glass panels, squares, very, very old school, very, very luxurious, all the way down the wall. And you can see into one of the living rooms attached to Dr. Hansen's study. You can see into the study from here. If you were to peer in through these windows, they are not covered. You look out of the corner of your eye, and you see a handprint on the inside of the window. There's it's kind of fogged up in one part. You see a handprint, you think, but as you stare at it, it moves away. And
I'm gonna jump back.
And on part of the upper pane, you look, and there is a moth crawling across the window.
You okay?
I don't know how to explain it, but there's something wrong.
The moth quickly, it almost looks like the hand and moth quickly flutter away. They evacuate.
I'm gonna start wringing my hands, and I'm just
You're at a
shaking my head.
funeral of a guy who they said died of natural causes, but was very clearly murdered. So I'm in agreement that there's something wrong here.
Okay, I'm glad we're both in agreement. I think we're just agreeing on different terms. I think there's something inhuman. I don't know. Again, I don't know how to explain it, but that hand, there was something.
And as you're all sitting there, you're all sitting there in the rain, and you see a light come on from up the hill in the groundskeeper's home on his porch. You see a lantern come up, and you see the figure, you assume the broad figure of Gingham, come out. Enough that you can see him, and you can see a warm light in front of his face, like he's probably smoking a pipe or a cigar. But he's You can't see through the rain. You see the light, but you get a feeling that he's staring down at you guys.
What's his deal?
Gingham, he's old.
Never sleeps in the house, doesn't stay around, only visits when he has to.
He's a cranky old man. That's the best way I can put it.
Tyson's gonna get up and try to get the. Can I get like the house in frame for a picture?
Are you stepping out into the rain?
Yeah. So I have in my bag normally like a cover to help me not get my camera wet. It's like a little mini
you
umbrella.
you just pull out like a very old school metal umbrella.
Yeah, of course it is. And I'm gonna try to go out because I want to take another picture of the house while it's raining right now.
Okay.
And I want to, just in case, I want to have an enhanced awareness. I want to accidentally trigger it for this picture specifically.
Please roll.
That is +3, 19.
19. As you step away, it's your digital camera.
That's what I
And you
thought.
can see as you pan out. The house looks really dilapidated out here, but you can't tell. It's really like cloudy and rainy. And you zoom out and something catches your eye at the Widow's Walk. Do you zoom in?
I do.
You zoom in. There's a female figure. Do you zoom in further?
I do.
And you zoom in further, and it looks like maid's attire. Do you zoom in further?
Oh, I do.
You zoom in further. She has dark skin. Gray hair pulled neatly back. She looks oddly familiar. She almost looks like your mother, but older? Is that? You zoom in, and she's gone. And so away from all of you while this is happening, Lillard Wallace is resting in his room. He's got his single lantern beside his bed. Finally comes conscious, gripping his chin. Wipes his face down, dried blood on his nose. Kind of takes both hands over his face. And as he looks over to the corner of his room, there's a short figure. And he finds himself panicking, and he goes to scream, but nothing comes out as the lantern goes out. From the outside of the house, you all hear a blood-curdling scream. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
I do not approve of this.
I
So,
have so many questions.
that's the whole point. So, that concludes our first episode. We will be back 2 weeks, every other Sunday, same time and place, same beautiful people. We will be continuing this beautiful spooky tale of lost souls, traversing and trying to navigate the veil. Let's go ahead. Let's let all of our players do a hardcore shout out if you have any projects going on that you want to shout out in the wake of your trauma. Mr. J Casual.
Greetings. I'm Jay.
Okay.
Casual.
Pause, because god dang is my little heart happy hearing that spunk I'm feeding. Continue.
You can find me on all social media at just2casual. That's Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can have me on Twitch at Casual Creativity, where I do variety streaming of gaming and TTRPGs. And I am currently working on my 5e compatible Deep Breath, which is an anime-inspired anime, manga, shonen jump, and JRPG inspired retrofuturistic high fantasy setting where it's everything you love about D&D and fantasy blended with the urban fantasy of technology, where wizards have scrolls and teenagers have the internet and either both can cast spells. That's the beauty of the world. Things we have classes that are based off like Super Saiyans, Full Metal Alchemists, races based off Titans from Attack on Titan, and powers like quirks from My Hero Academia, and so much more. I have made the alpha playtest content for people, and we are giving out a few copies for people to start looking at, and some people are reading it over. So stay tuned on like my Twitter, my Twitch, as I will start trying to figure out how to do some releases just for people to read the content and get to enjoy the beautiful stuff. For those that saw it on the Jasper's Game Day Weekend, Take the Initiative, we play test some of the content live there, and I believe you can check that on the YouTube. So if you want to see what some of the stuff that is available, go to the Initiative Order YouTube, and it's specifically the Take the Initiative Weekend where we did the Deep Breath playtest. It was amazing. It was fantastic, and you can see some of the stuff that you'll have a chance to play at your table, casually, of course. And I've been Tyson, who's already traumatized in so many ways. God damn it, Taryn, I'm proud of you because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Welcome to my nightmare. Okay, now my brother Ronan.
Yeah, I'm the artist formerly known as Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox. It's FAWKS on Twitter and Instagram, and on Twitch at Ronan Fox, and where I do TTRPG content. We world build. I just started today world building my own homebrew campaign setting, and we do DM discussions and adventure builds on Monday, which that'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's me.
Johanna?
Johanna Maka. You can find me johannaxmachina on Instagram or TikTok. I don't have any projects coming anytime soon. So.
Yet.
Yeah,
We're changing that. We got you. Can we give a special yay in chat for Johanna's first stream?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Yay.
So good. And for those of you that don't know, so I DM at home in the home games and the before 4 times. And Johanna is one of my home players that I wanted to bring forward because her RP is fire. So, and I will go ahead. Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook, TTRPG streamer, GM, general creative human, and artist and dice maker through the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice on Instagram. I do have a Ko-fi. I have a subscription option to save up and pay off for dice. I do hand pour, polish all the jazz, conjuring relics from beyond the void for you to enjoy at your gaming table. And I do have a new sale coming up on Wednesday, starting, I believe I was aiming for 12 p.m. Pacific Standard, yes,
Just
something like that. Sometime in the afternoon. It'll happen. Official announcement coming tomorrow on the Instagram. So if you are interested in those, do be sure to check that out on the Instagram. Every Monday, including tomorrow, you can catch me as a redneck with a gun, Miss Peggy Sue James on Vault, still on TIO. Tomorrow evening, Fallout TTRPG, check that out. In a couple of weeks, I got on DM Screening Channel, I'll be playing a Hex Blood Druid because all the witchy vibes over on DM Screening's D&D campaign starting up, so be sure to check that out as well. Shout out to my homie D'Angelo, that _D'Angelo, because we have his Emerald Templars playtest, which is his TTRPG playtest this next month as well. Super friggin' busy, but thank you all so much for coming out and doing this. Thank you to our sponsors. We've got, again, Session Zero Clothing, Norse Foundry, Roaming Player Gear, and Mithril Armory, because 1020s, y'all, they kicked my butt, and I'm not good at them, but they're cool. All of the discounts for all of those things, definitely go check them out. They've got really amazing gear. And again, thank you guys for coming and being all the spoopy with us. And we'll see you all guys in a couple weeks where we pick up where we left off. So see you next time on the Initiative Order, guys.
Ara ara.